Hey everybody, this is a video response for Sammy Thunder. Sammy Thunder just surpassed 700 subs, and he's got a great channel. He's a great guy, a great person to have in our card community. Check out his channel. He often goes to card shows and tells you the budget he's on, shows you the cards he's picked up and how much they cost often, so it's really insightful in that way. And he picked an amazing contest, like a really good, smart themed contest. I wish I thought of it myself. So I'll explain it real quick and then we'll get into it. So it is to pick two players from numerous decades, and I'll get into that, but it's a batter and a hitter from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, and pre-war. So I'll do it in that order, and I'll go through. All right, so for my batter at 1980s is Rickey Henderson. All right, this cut was made for better focus. All right, let's see if it works. Yes, Rickey Henderson. I think Rickey Henderson was a fine player. No, I actually think that Rickey Henderson manages to be underrated, even though he gets a lot of recognition. He really is kind of a one-of-a-kind player in baseball history. In his dominant speed, he had power. He got on base like crazy, which you wouldn't think considering how no pitcher would ever want a guy like him on base. I can't say enough about Rickey Henderson as a ball player, and I think Rickey Henderson would agree. And then we have Greg Maddux. Just had a really great career in baseball. I think that he's known as a finesse pitcher because he didn't blow people away with his speed. Foolish Baseball just did a video on him, kind of arguing that his low-speed fastball has been, maybe oversold, and that he actually was a fairly average to above average speed pitcher for his day. But anyway, that's not my argument. I just think he was a great pitcher. And Vida Blue, who had an amazing season in 1971, and really a great chunk of time as a pitcher, as a dominant pitcher, just one of the best in that era of the 70s. He didn't continue it long enough to get into the Hall of Fame, but he was dominant for a short period of time, and there's some other guys who've done that, and they've managed to make it into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. Let me know if you think that Vida Blue should be given another shot. I haven't even really heard his name mentioned, but that's probably my fault. Anyway, next step is Carl Yastrzemski. I think he's a solid pick for the 1970s. Yep, I'd say. And then I'll go with Sandy Koufax. Now, there are some comparables between him and Vida Blue, although I wouldn't say they're 100% on the same level at all. But Sandy Koufax had a fairly short career for a Hall of Famer. Had such a short but dominant 5 years that he solidified his claim to the Hall of Fame. And I'm not going to argue that. I'm just going to say that maybe Vida Blue needs another look. And then we have a pretty good pick for the 1960s in the Say Hey Kid Willie Mays, if you don't mind. So that's that. Next, we're going with Hank Aaron. Love this card. The 50s has so many great choices, as do the other decades. But, how can you go wrong with Hammerin' Hank? Now, the reason behind Hammering Hank is, as a kid, he carried a hammer by him. No, I'm just joking. He hit bombs. And then, sorry, my cards are falling. And then we have Warren Spahn, whose nickname eludes me because he might not have one. But he's my pitcher for the 1950s. I haven't been saying the decades, I don't think, but hopefully you've been following along with your baseball knowledge. I do apologize. And then we get to pre-war, which is where I show my weakness, particularly on the batting front. But here we go. Here we have Earl Averill, a very nice Hall of Famer. I have it seems that all of my pre-war caliber hitters are similar to Earl Averill, so it was actually a tough choice. But and I have some non-Hall of Famer cards because I like the cards. But anyway, Earl Averill, he gets the nod. He's on my bench. A lot of the other guys, Hornsby's not on my bench, Cobb's not on my bench, Ott's not on my bench, you know. So my bench is, you know, some of these guys are just not on my bench. Earl Averill, he was on my bench. I called him up. And then we have Mordecai Brown, one of my favorite recent pickups, if I'm getting a little too much glare here. Three-finger Brown, really had 4 fingers and 1 mangled finger. He was awesome in the turn of the century, turn of the 20th century. And I'm super happy to even have this card and show this card. There were a lot better pitchers in pre-war, but I'm happy with this pick. All right. So I want to thank Sammy Thunder for being a great guy and congratulate him for his 700 subs. And encourage you to check out his channel. I will leave it in the description. And thanks so much for watching. You know, and I'm gonna say this because you know, my alter ego influencer wants you to smash that sub button, hit the like button, and let's make this happen. See, that's my fat thumb. Thank you.